Hey y'all, I'm Kiki Hunter.
What's good, people? I'm Marc and Keakea.
Welcome
Welcome
to
to
the
the
Hunt
Hunt
Life
Life
Podcast.
Podcast.
We created this podcast to give a real view of life as millennials navigating the world.
Real life discussions about the struggles our generation go through from family, love, and everyday life. We just trying to break generational curses to chase our dream life.
Come with us on this journey to hunt life and tackle everything else in between.
How you doing?
So
What's up, man? I'm Mark.
I'm Kiki.
It's the Hunt Life Podcast, and this episode, what, 4?
Is it four?
Yeah, it's 4.
It's four. So
Yeah.
this the okay. Well, hold my down.
Yeah, we on episode 4. I think it's doing pretty good. Like, so how you feel about it being the 4th episode? Like, what's your take on what we going through for the 4th episode?
Child.
Here we go. She ready to start blaming me for some shit
Now, how
instead
you
of
just gonna
this.
take that upon yourself?
Cause
You
I
don't
know
know
for a
that.
fact she finna start blaming me that I'm doing something. So what
No,
is it?
that's I really was not actually. Wow, wow. I'm just gonna say it's a process. That's
Yes.
all. It has been a process. It's been a learning experience,
Yes, it has been.
but
It's been fun. I can tell you that. It's
yeah,
been different. Like, it's
it's
been
been
hella
different.
different.
It's
Like,
been very different.
it's not as like easy as people try to make it seem like,
No.
because it's like trying to like bring your personality in front and also try to like deliver facts and stuff like that. I guess that's the part trying to like level and stuff like that.
True story. Every podcast thus far, I have gotten trolled for. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like tired at this
But
point.
I was getting trolled up on the lives though. So like, yeah, you get trolled on the podcast, and I'm getting trolled on live. And at least yours was just some randos.
Were
My,
they?
I
Not
mean,
all of them.
shit, I don't know. That's just wild. But so, do you want to get into the topic that we decided that we want to talk on today?
Sure.
And what is that, man?
Time limits.
Explain what you mean. Time limits. You just time limits. Like, I mean, everything has time limits. So, what you mean?
That's the problem. Everything should not have time limits. Like where did it come from? Like me, particularly myself, I don't even do well with time. We know I can't be nowhere
Yeah.
on time. So the
Yeah.
fact that I am somebody who actually plans my life out to a certain extent, and it's very dramatic a little bit,
Mm.
is wild because I'm never on time.
Yeah,
but then I be mad when I don't reach my life on time goals.
But so that means that you do follow time goes then.
I do.
So
a little bit.
I think everybody kind of follow time goes a little bit because I'm like, I don't care about time goes, but it's certain stuff that I do want to do certain time periods. Like by certain ages, I want to be like, all right, at least I kind of sort of doing this or doing somewhat close to it.
Okay, I think that's a little healthy though. Because it's like,
It's
first,
a
are
range.
time limits healthy?
I think for it to be healthy, it got to be a range.
Okay.
Like you can't give it like a specific date. Like, all right, peep game for like,
Or like a specific age.
yeah, for a specific age. Okay. Like, I'm getting to this job, and it's like, I want to be manager in the first year. But it's like, bro, like you just got there. You don't even really know the ins and outs of it. So it's like, why put that much stress on you? Like,
Yeah.
learn what's going on, figure out who's cool on the manager level, so you can be able to get the inside on when it's time for another manager position
like,
open, yeah. So you can learn it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean,
so realistic time limits.
Yeah. But you don't want to be too late on certain stuff when it comes to time limits. Mm-hmm. You don't want to like keep up with the Joneses, as they would say, but then you also don't want to be like too far behind, because then it's like, bro, like all your peoples is leaving you.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about time limits too. Like it's there for a reason. It's like, I guess because we just had kids, so they have the bullshit time limits for kids. They just don't say time limits; they say standards.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So is that the first? And that's a good point because would that be considered like the first introduction to timelines. That's how we're introduced to it. Because that's a good point.
Yes.
As kids, they have certain milestones. Is what you're looking
true
for.
word,
the milestones that they have to reach by certain times, even though we know all kids reach different time limits.
Yeah.
So
they
it's kind of like,
own time.
Yeah. We know it's a majority, not a minority, like majority of kids are doing this, but that does start the time limits. Because it's to say, like, you carry that on. It don't stop when you get out of baby stage. It's still by certain stages in life that you're expected to be.
But also, the majority at certain times can be certain things. Like, sometimes the majority for babies can be that a bunch of babies between this time period learn how to walk faster than babies in this time period. But then in this time period, a bunch of babies learned how to talk faster than that time period. Because now they're saying that there's more kids that have speech developments, that have speech delays. So it's like that's kind of sort of what's going on. They also saying that they have more kids that have like this artistic and stuff like that. So it's like there's time periods where different things is going on, and it's like we have to understand that and we have to apply that to like our kids. Even though that they're milestones and everybody grow on a different level, we still know that at certain points we want them to at least try to hit certain things. You ain't got to hit every single thing on the list, but at least
somewhere,
if you
just be in there, somewhere in the range. Yeah. But see that, like, and that's, I guess that could be, that's like a healthy way. But like, what about the people? Like I said, like me, I set time limits for my life. Like, I always knew I wanted to have kids before 30. Marriage was iffy. I didn't know if I would be.
Women said unhealthy.
You think it's a women thing?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think it goes back to, like, for y'all, I think it's honestly movies, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Stop.
Movies and like TV shows. Like, honestly, think about it. The TV shows and the movies we watched back when we was younger, they always more so made it seem like that by a certain time. It was like a woman was always trying to get it to a certain minute. And then after a certain ages, she trying to get her groove back. It's always just certain things that they're trying to say that is
no.
To a certain extent, yes. Just like, all right, what about prom?
I didn't go to prom, so I don't know.
But they always say that women lose their virginity on prom. That's all the movies.
Okay, but that's not.
But that's all the movies, right?
But that's not something we are putting on ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm saying like a time limit you are placing on yourself to be like.
But we don't place time limits on ourselves. We hear about time limits, and we think that that's where we're supposed to be at that time. That's more so what it is, because and I honestly feel like in our own mind, like, we do what we do on our own. Some people like care about what other people do, but some people don't really care. But there's a certain limit that you got to do. There's a certain, like, it's a certain standard to be considered an adult. You got to pay bills. You got to be able to keep a job for more than a year. You got to be able to if you have a family, you got to be able to take care of your family and your responsibilities.
Yeah.
These are standards of being an adult. Now, it's not a time limit on when you're going to be like that type of adult, but it's like at a certain
age.
It should be a time limit.
I mean, but that's me coming from being a person who now I don't so much, but I find myself doing it, but I'm aware that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But like when I was 18, 19, like figuring out of school, even in high school, I was like, okay, like I said, I always wanted to have kids before 30. Like I always said, by 25 at least. If I don't have a kid, I want to be trying to have a kid. Like I always had that in my mind. I always was like, marriage was iffy. Didn't know if I wanted to be married.
Yeah, and I bet you ask a bunch of females.
I wanted to have a house.
We could ask that for that statistic. Like, people should comment down.
Do not think
we should have that. People should comment. Females should comment.
Please.
By a certain age, do you feel like that you should have had babies and you should be married? Because I honestly think that's
I'm not saying you should be, but
y'all all put that on there in y'all mind. Y'all put y'allself through that.
So as a dude, you don't ask yourself. You never have wondered at what time you would want to have kids.
Nah, not really.
What?
It happens whenever like having kids. Like after a certain age,
that's too loosey goosey for me.
And
that
like,
is too
if you
just.
I think after like some people, a bunch of dudes after like maybe 21 is when they be like, all right, that's kind of young, but some people are like that, you feel me? Like some people are like 25 between around that age.
Yeah.
But some people like feel like they want to be more physically like stable in order to have kids. So it's more so like, yeah, but that's no such thing. In all honesty, like
I think I had way more energy with Santana do to have with Metis.
Yeah, but you talking about you
in 30.
You talking about
He's kicking my ass. I was 22 when I had Santana.
Yeah, but
I was keeping up with homeboy. We was.
But Metis. I keep up with both of them though.
Man,
that ain't nothing.
Mark, you be half sleep, half of the day.
Yeah, but when I'm on their ass, I'm on their ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when they outside running and playing and shit, like I'm out there. But
the problem is you be tired.
I mean, I'm supposed to be tired.
I could do it with them, but my ass be tired.
Yeah, I be outside in the sun all day. Then I gotta come home and gotta run around and shit and chase their ass. That shit be hell yeah, nigga be tired.
Dozing off in the middle of conversations.
Hell yeah.
But no, like I don't know. Okay. Put it in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah.
What
is that a man thing or is that a woman thing? Do we feel like that? I feel like more women
set time limits on their life than men.
Yeah, the question? Yeah, that's the question.
Do women set more time limits for their life than men? Tapping.
Yeah, we want to hear what you gotta say. For real, we want to hear what you gotta say.
Take the poll. We're gonna post it on Instagram.
Because I feel like that's something interesting.
And we're gonna drop it on here.
We had somebody try to challenge us up on like a statistic and stuff like that, a stat that we drop. And it's like we are fact checking type people. We ain't finna be out here trying to just drop stuff. We don't just do drop facts. We put real
otherwise it's in
truth around in our stuff. Okay. And we all understand that like Google is this or Google is that, but if that's the only search engine that we really have, then it's like we have to go by that, right? All right, unless you finna go to the library and try to go look at a book to try to figure out your statistic. But then when you do that, you're gonna realize that like, yeah, most statistics ain't even really been done in a while since before COVID. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to really try to find statistics these days.
And you don't even go read nothing nowadays. If you're not gonna go do the research afterwards, please don't be coming for me.
I got into my rant before the end of the thing, you feel me? But like, nah, back to what we were talking about. Like, that was my rant. I was gonna get in that boy ass because it's like, bro, like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? And then for the simple fact, because she's a woman, she's gonna take her dub. Like I don't like it when panda bears be doing stuff like that. Like you're pandering. Like first of all, you wanted to get our attention, so we blessed you with our attention and we answered your question. You feel me? And then you continue to be off a topic. So we direct you back to topic and you showed us that you can't stay on topic by getting directly back off topic. So it's like, no, she didn't win because she's a woman. It's just a simple fact of that your dumbass didn't stay on topic. Stay on topic, my G, or go through the research.
And speaking of topics.
Back to the topic. What's up?
Back to the topic.
Yeah, like, man, that shit fired me up, bro. Like, cause it was like, bro, like, how do you stay professional but get in a nigga ass? You feel me? That's the part about business nobody tell you about. Mm-hmm. That's the hard part. It's a thin line.
It's a thin line.
Yeah, but yeah, back to topic. Timelines, bro. Nah. I don't fuck with timelines. I do, but I don't.
Because I have
real tea. I do, but I don't.
I do, but I don't. Like I feel like I understand that they're not healthy when you start putting like an age on it. Like when you saying like by 25, I need to have 2 kids, a husband, and a whole house paid off. That's unrealistic.
Yeah.
But for me, I think I gave myself range. And that's probably why I never really felt bad for when I didn't necessarily hit my goal. Like I had kids before 20, like I had Santana before 25. So that was one goal checked off. But like but I'm how old am I?
Shit, I don't know. What's your age? I know what statistic I didn't want to be a part of, and that was like a young father. I wanted to make sure that I was.
So you didn't
oldest.
Want kids early?
Yeah, I didn't want to make sure I didn't have kids early.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that I was semi-mature enough, but old enough to be able to take care of my kids the way that I want to, so I can have like my kids grow up the way that I want them to, instead of having other people influence on how it's done. So it's more so trying to stay safe about it and make sure that kids are being done at the age that I wanted to be done at.
Right.
So anything after 22 was fine for me, 20 something, because it was like, I mean,
that was very clear.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And listen, that's another episode for another day. But I knew I want to have kids. I knew, like right now, like I'm 31, 32, something like that, y'all. I forget. But by 30, I wanted to own a house.
Yeah.
So I look back at it, I'm like, dang, I wanted to own a house at 30, and I don't. Like we're going through the process to try to figure that out and make that happen. But I don't feel like some people get crushed when they don't meet their goals, like on time. Like some people are really crushing that sends them into depression and stuff like that. And it's like, it's okay. Because first of all, this is a totally different world we living in. Like most people trying to get to 6 figures and we're in our 30s. Like realistically, how many 30-year-olds are really for real, like in the real life,
like real bread, like
in real life, it's like making real 6 life, figures. Like, that's not 6, not 7 figures. Thing. It's not.
Especially for like 30-year-olds or even some 40-year-olds.
I just said like one of the stats for millennials is we're in debt. We're like the generation that's in the most debt. Like
we're in so much debt because all of us took out all the student loans,
and they said that in the article.
And like that's the part that really set us behind. That was kind of sort of the part that screwed our generation up, and it really put us behind because they sold us the dream of that all we had to do was just go to school and get our bachelor's degree, and we're fine.
And a lot of us,
and it's like a lot of people got their bachelor's degree, and now it's like you need to have your master's. And that's the thing about doing the school thing.
But that was at a different time. Yes, that. But back in our parents' days, like
that was not really a thing to them because it was so low.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The expectation of your time limits, if we're comparing it to back in the day, that's not realistic. It wasn't even realistic back then. Yeah, we're already making more. And so like for people to think by 30, you should have a full doggone life happening by 30, it's not realistic because when nobody tells you it's in your 20s, it's a trial and error phase. Like you trial and error and shit, trying to figure it out, and then maybe heading into 30, if you like one of the people that kind of got your shit together and you like figuring it out earlier, then going into 30, you may be on your way. Yeah. But it's a very small percentage of people who are in their 20s who are just out here killing it in every aspect of life and hitting goals on I'm gonna do this, this, and this is not realistic. And then on top of that, who plans are you going by? Because you ain't leading with faith by going by your own plan book. Because you might say you need that by 20, but God might say you don't need that to 45.
And a crazy part about this is it's not a statistic, but it's something that I look into. And what I looked into is back in our parents' time when they was around their 30s, we'll say 33, 34s, a little bit around that time. That's when the first market collapsed, when the housing bubble collapsed, and we also had the insurance bubble collapse. So they all had to like restart. So even in their 30s, they wasn't really millionaires. The only ones that really got a chance to touch the millionaires was the ones that was like getting to the money before Y2K.
Oh,
but then they lost their money because of the housing crashing.
Yeah.
So for us in our 30s, we're like at the beginning of a recession. It's what you kind of sort of want to call it. So it's like we're going through some tough times at the beginning of our 30s. Like at the middle of our 30s and stuff like that, just like them. So it's like we got to give ourselves grace at this time and just like kind of sort of focus on other stuff that we can work on, because there's other things that's against us at the moment for us to like really see our full potential and get like the real money that we can get.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. Because like the money, like our generation particularly have to go through a lot of firsts, unfortunately. Like, and that's what sucks for us. So like the people who really like go by their time limits, like release that. Like,
yeah, because we're breaking a bunch of generational curses.
We have a lot.
A lot of us finish college in our 20s.
Yeah.
And a bunch of our parents then finish college into their 30s or their 40s. If we want to call a spade, and some are still trying, and it's no shade to them or anything like that. It's just a simple fact of we're doing good on that scale.
Like, we're doing good. I think millennials are doing very well with what we're being given.
Yeah. And I don't even think about what we're being given, what we're taking, because we're going into these different type of jobs and we're doing the same work that the other people are, but we're not working for the same amount of pay.
Yeah.
So the older lady might been there for 12 years and she getting $15, but you walked in the door and you getting 20.
Yep. Been there, like, for real. Like, I done met people where they've been working there 10, 20, 15 years. Like, and I walk in and I'm making double the amount that you were getting paid, and I'm looking at you crazy, like, why is you still here? Like, so that was a reflection for me, like, okay, you might not have the house. Yeah, like, I'm still doing something with my life just because I'm not where I want it to be. First of all, that was a child mind. I'm not understanding the obstacles that it's going to take to get to those places. So that's a whole nother thing. Like, it is okay if you do not hit them goals. Do not get yourself deep down depressed and take it that to heart when you do not hit them goals. That is okay.
Yeah.
Because you're going to hit those goals if those are the goals that you even supposed to be reaching in the first place.
Yeah, some of the time you don't hit that goal because
that was not your purpose.
That wasn't your time.
Like, you have to, like, at some point you got to just lead by faith, and like, especially if you believe in whoever you believe in. But if you believing in God and you have somebody higher than yourself, you got to trust them to do their job too. So with your plans that you see might not be the plans that you're supposed to be doing. So it's not just about you and your timeline. It's about do your plans align with God's plan.
Because we don't write our own timeline.
We don't.
We edit it.
Yeah.
We just edit it along the way, but we don't really write it. It's always
written. Yep.
It's already said that. It's wrote out for us. We just edit it. It just depends on like the different paths and different shit that we take.
Yeah.
Like, we do different things and we might veer off the path that we're supposed to take for a little bit, but we might get an obstacle jumping our way. And those be them signs that we look for.
Yeah.
When those signs happen and we miss it, we stay off of course.
Yeah.
But if we catch that sign, we get back on course and we realize that shit just doing a little bit better for us. So, and it's like we just got to catch it. It's not about the time limit. It's about getting to it when it's time to get to it.
Yeah.
Because everybody's different. Some people, time limit means that they might get whatever they want faster than you. But that just might mean because they have something else that they're trying to do. So this was just some little basic obstacle that was in their way so they can get to their next step.
Yeah.
It's about when it's your time.
When it's your time. Like, we have to start taking it more serious when it is your time. Everything not meant for you at the same time and it's meant for somebody else. And I think as society, we need to stop that.
Yeah.
Like, Because when it's time for us to do age appropriate stuff, we don't want to do age appropriate stuff. Like when somebody want to tell you too old to be out here 50 years old, talking about you gonna fight somebody. Now we don't want to talk about that. Now we can't do age appropriate or time limits on that.
Shaking ass up online. Like, bro,
now
come on.
It's not appropriate. No, like stop that. Like there's a time and place, but setting like realistic goals for yourself, like you have to give yourself grace on it. Because you might hit that goal 10 years from now. You might get detoured and be like, you know what, I don't even want that. Like I changed my dream car I don't know how many times. Like
true.
That's just life. So you have to understand that you just gotta pray that your time aligns with God's time. And like be willing and patient to wait till it's your time. And that's something I had to learn because I did have a foreshadowing of how I saw my life, but I also saw myself with a steady career by 25. Like I said, I was going to be in a stable career. I was going to be on my career journey. I was going to have a kid. Husband was iffy, but I was like, I want a dope baby daddy, like to where we can just be chilling and co-parenting. Like I was always that person. So but some people set their stuff to a T. Like they be like, well, by 24, I want to graduate from college. By 25, I want to like be the top lawyer. By 30, I want to have 3 kids and a husband. Then I want to have a big house that's worth $1 million. By 35, it'd be like, you stop, come down. That's too much. Like I've had goals, but I'm so happy they weren't that extensive. But I think that comes from my daddy always telling me, like, God already wrote your story. So it ain't no point in you trying to go back and rewrite it or make your own story. Like, it's already written. You're just taking detours on the way.
Yeah.
And that always stuck with me, but I'm a control freak, right? So I got to feel like I'm in some type of control.
So now you see it.
I've always said I have no problem admitting that I have control problems.
Okay.
I get it. I'm a little bit, but I recognize.
Nah.
I try to figure out when I need to back off. I tell people all the time, tell me back off, because I understand that I grew up in the house with 2 control freaks. I can't help it. That was meant to be.
I understand that. I think my thing with time limits, I don't really look at time limits, but I be like every once in a while, my like keeping up with the Joneses moments. It's like, bro, like James Harden just made $100 million, and it's like this nigga the same age as you. This nigga out here dribbling the ball, and he making bread, nigga. Like, what you doing? Like, it's stuff that you could be doing, bro. Because it's like these cats are like really like our age, and they like really like getting to the money.
But I think that's the problem. Celebrities make it's not realistic.
I know it's not realistic,
it's a very
but it's like that's why I
percentage
say
of
that's
those
every
people.
once in a while. And I'm aware of that. I'm not like
I'm saying for people who are really that are really like banking their stuff off of saying Cardi B making it at 30 and James Harden and all these people. You gotta understand, most of these people were already in some way, shape, or form already set up to be, and they didn't just
in that
fall
situation.
into
you don't fall into that.
Like, but that was already something.
My point in saying that was that like that's how I am every once in a while when I'm not like. That's when I'm like, I guess, red pill, like just turning my brain off, and
you let it inspire you.
Inspiration is what it is. Like, bro, like these boys out here.
This is what I could.
This is what they out here doing. So it's like, all right, because I mean, I don't really believe that the rappers be making their money like that. So it's about the basketball players.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean,
that's for sure.
Yeah, I know that if you're an athlete, you're making some form of money.
Yeah.
For real. Versus like if you like you're an artist, like we know the loopholes with that shit. Like, bro, y'all boys be up on 360 deals the whole entire time.
Yeah.
If you on a 360 deal, it's like you work for McDonald's your damn self, bro. It ain't no difference. But like, that's like I think like that every once in a while. But it's like most of the time I'm just more so like trying to like focus on like my goals that I have set for myself.
Yeah.
Because they're not really like a bunch of my goals are like lifetime goals. They're like dreams. They're not more so
and you
goals.
Say that a lot. Like because you say that like throughout the course of our relationship, you said that a lot. Because I remember you used to get on me about my time limits. You used to be like, everything don't have to be on no time. Like, I think you was one of the first people, like, everything don't have to be on no damn time limit. Mm-hmm. And we had that conversation plenty of times. I'm like, it's just supposed
to. But I didn't understand the point of valuing time. Yeah. Like, I always had watches, you feel me? Like, since, like, 14, 15 years old, since I was little, I always had a watch. That's my thing. I always value time. I understand that time is value. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand it to the extent that I do now as an adult. Mm-hmm. But as a youngster, like, I always just felt like, time is value. So it's like, we can't always, like, worry about what everybody else doing. Yeah. We get it when we get it on our own time. It's always somebody's time to shine.
And you did used to say that, like, shine. Yeah.
It's just, but you used don't to say drop the ball, nigga. Yeah, like, that's the thing. When somebody pass you the rock and tell you to go, it's like you got to keep going. Because a lot of people get their time and they get their shot, whether it's bad or whether it's a good way. But you get your shot and you blow it because you wasn't ready. And that's the part that screw you over. You got to be ready at all times. Because if you're not ready, then when it do happen and you screw yourself up.
Be Steph Curry with the shot, boy. You gotta hit the shot. You do. You can't let the time pass you, but you gonna let it pass you if you dwell in because you didn't get it when you thought you were supposed. Because some people do that too. Mm-hmm. Some people don't want it no more, or they like mess it up on purpose because they didn't get it when they were supposed to.
Self-sabotagers. Yeah, you don't want to self-sabotage yourself because I know that shit's hard, bro. Self-sabotaging.
That's a whole nother conversation for another day. Yeah, that's a topic. Yeah, that's a topic.
Yeah, because I feel like everybody, I think our whole entire generation have that button in them. Mm-hmm. That they can just self-destruct, like I blow this whole entire thing up, like fam, like shipping with me. Feel me, like and I think that's what our generation have, like everybody have up in it. Yeah, it ain't no just some of us do. It's like it's crazy, like our generation, we
go through a lot, man.
We was like right at the beginning of we was outside. Mm-hmm. But then we also was online. Yeah. So we was outside when we was little kids, but right when we was starting to become teenagers, we was online. Yeah. So it was like the transition was it was different for us. Yeah. And we learning as we go.
Yeah. And I think, but I do think like you mentioning like, because even in school, it was always you had to be this by this time. Like, even like with knowing, like, well, I think those questions were stupid. They asked you what you want to be when you grow up and you like 3 years old. I don't know. Like, you got them 4 or 5 year old pictures talking about you want to be something stupid. Like, why would you ask a 4-year-old some crazy shit like that?
Career day is a good idea.
Career day is a good,
I feel like all schools should start doing that again. Yeah. I feel like schools should bring career day back.
Yeah, I do think that.
And they should have parents come up there and talk about their job. Career. Even if you like if you like work at Jack in the Box, bro, and you like you're confident about working at Jack in the Box, come up there and talk to the kids about it. You feel me? Like it's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So it's like, we need to be able to. I feel like us as millennials, we should want to bring that back for our kids. Thanks. So they can understand that it's not about being a celebrity. Yeah. Regular people make money too, fam. Like that little nigga, that little dude could be a plumber and get bread. Mm-hmm. Like he could be an electrician and get bread. She could be a beautician and get bread. She could be a nurse and get bread. She could be anything that she wants. Yeah. He could be anything that he wants. It's a lot of other stuff that's out there. And it's like, if we have career days, then the kids can see all the different types of jobs that you can be. Yeah.
It brings them down and not have to look at celebrities for what they always say, I'm not your like not mentor, but
they're idols and stuff.
Yeah, they're idols. Like it shows like a regular person can still be your idol. Like it's a bunch of jobs that I like that idea.
Yeah, because what about firefighters? Like what about how do we get our kids into wanting to be firefighters?
Again, yeah. Giving back to the community.
Ambulances. Yeah. Where, like what they call like EMTs, not an ambulance. I don't want your kid to be a car. Nah. Yo. But be an EMT, you feel me? Mm-hmm. Like there's a bunch of different things. A welder. Like theirs are like decent, that's good jobs that we should like inspire our kids to be. Yeah. And like let them be confident in it. Mac, as you can hear, Mac once again, he gotta let it be known that he Mac. But yeah, man, like kids need to we just need to let our kids see that you could be anything. Because we saw that you could be anything. So why they can't see it? You feel me? Mac is really trying me. I know, bro. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. But yeah, so how you? Time limits. Well, first of all, I need to get on that. Like, I really like the pitch of the career bring career day back. Yeah. I like that idea, but I do like the fact that you can. It's to teach kids not to have unrealistic. You should not be asking a 4 or 5-year-old what the hell they want to be when they grow up. They don't know. They ain't even. Because another thing, because for us, we don't believe in like putting our kids through a lot of like stress that they don't need to go through. That's extra. So like because we do homeschool, we don't like do tests because we understand when we was growing up that tests were very stressful. Baby gave us all anxiety. And so it's like, why would we put our kids through tests too, to where we can like increase their anxiety? Most kids have listen, they have anxiety. Like, so yeah, like this. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that have anxiety. I feel like that was one of my big anxieties when it came to school too, was especially 3rd grade and up, was when it came to test time, because I knew for a fact at the end of the year, every single time that it was going to be time to take the tax test or the TEKS test. And it was like, bro, that stuff was stressful. Like you're stressing our kids and stuff like that when it comes to taking tests and stuff like that. No, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to test our kids and stuff like that, because we can understand what you know and what your value that you bring into that subject that you're like ingesting, to where we be like, all right, you know enough to where we can switch to another subject and we can just like come back and re-talk about it. Mm-hmm. You found your statistics, or should I like keep like going? No, okay, I can like keep going. You feel me? No, you want to just pull your phone out, all in the middle of record and trying to get a statistic. Hey. That's why I told you we should have the laptops next to us, so you can. I do it on my phone. I'm okay. I could do it on my phone. Yeah, but either way, I get it. Yeah, you're right. Your laptop, but you wasn't able to find it at that moment, so I was trying to pull it up. It's a lot happening right now. My back is about to make me lose my mind. You had a time to shine about your damn statistics and you fumbled the bag. That's what you're trying to say. More, please. I read articles on it. Like, you can't just be pulling up no article you ain't never read. I got to read it. I can't be, because then I really gonna have my ass on a platter. So you should have never said, hold on then, let me get this article. You should have said, all right, we gonna cut for like 5 minutes so I can pull up the article or something. You just like hold on and put your phone out like you was just 5-star general when it comes to article finding. I am. Just give me time. You're a journalist around this one. I'm trying to keep on. But we are to a certain extent. Yeah, because it's gonna take me a while because I need to go. At least I'm very thorough. Okay, with my stats, so I need to. She say thorough. I say perfectionist is what we are. We're perfectionists when it comes to certain things. Make sure stuff at some points I got to read through them. It's gonna take a while. But no, I think we have to ease up on kids so they don't have that in our head. Because like Santana said, like he asked the "Would you rather" question, and he was like, "Would you rather have a job that you make a lot of money but you was unhappy, or if you worked the job you love but you was broke, like you was poor?" And he was like, "I prefer to work a job that would make him happy." That was a moment for me because as a parent, I feel like I'm doing my job. Like, I want you to care about your time. I want you to care about your happiness. You don't necessarily have to figure out what you want to be today. You're 9, dude. Like, it's not that deep. And for us, I don't think it was like that. Like, I think our parents put a lot of pressure on us. I think the schools put a lot of pressure on us. I think society put a lot of pressure on us because even before millennials got out in the world, because again,
millennials, we are just now getting out to really run the world. Yeah. Like, we are now the adults of the world, but we were hearing crap about our generation way before we were even in a position to be running the world now. Yeah. Like, it was always we were gonna fail, but nobody ever gave us the tools and to sit us down and tell us that was unrealistic expectations. Like, y'all giving us unrealistic time limits, and you should not put that stress, because now here we all are in our adulthood raising kids, and a lot of us are dealing with the letdowns of time limits that we placed on ourselves.
Yeah, because society made us think that we needed to have that time limit. Yeah. When our parents had the same time limit, but they didn't complete the stuff on the same time limit that they had because they had obstacle too. So it's like we all are presented with different obstacles that we got to try to go through so we can be able to at least try to hit some of our goals that we want to hit. Yeah. But that's crazy because, like, off subject with that once again, but like, what? Santana, he's lying, duh, but his ass be always would you rather questions. He's a would you
rather person. Yeah. We do it in a homeschool though. Like, I started doing it in homeschool, and like we do a would you rather.
He would you rather all day long. Would you rather this? Yeah. Which one is better? Like, he forever like, would you rather this? Would you rather play Fortnite all day, or would you rather play Warzone all day? Yeah. Which one is much cooler? Like, yeah, it's a either or with him.
Yeah. No, facts. So, but yeah, like, I think let the timings go. Yeah. It's okay. Breathe about it. Pray about it. You know, it might not be for you, or maybe you might have another detour you need to take. Like, but it's okay if you're not hitting. Even now, like, as an adult now, and because I have so much we're trying to do, we got the business, we got the t-shirt line, and we have a podcast, we have Mr. Hunt Bubbles, we have
and
all
we have
these
your empowerment coach stuff. Yeah, we have books.
Yeah, like, we have a lot of stuff that we're trying to do. And I've been having to tell my own self later, like, it is okay to not be on that time. Like, certain things will roll out and get done in its own time. And so to stop putting the pressure on myself to say, okay, I have to have this out by this time. I need to do this by this time. Like, because I'm trying to do so much. Realistically, all that is not going to be, half of that stuff is probably not going to get done this year.
That don't mean she ain't finna crack the whip. It still make me have to do all that stuff in a short period of time. Talking about time, she don't care about time. She how many shirts you need done? Oh, okay. 5,000. Shit. Okay, we could do it in a month. In a month? Like, no worries. No worries, bro. We still gotta watch Cars during the day. Hey, you want me to come home and do a bunch of shirts? I'm with the grind, you feel me? I'm finna bust them bad boys down, but it's like, bro, she cracked the whip. Like, you feel me? Like, nah, I'm playing. She don't crack the whip. But she be on people's ass, though. She be on your ass, though. She gonna make sure you get that shit done. And it may not be a little cricket, like a little tad bit cricket, because on your ass it's gonna be.
Perfectionist. Okay. Like, I see the little thing. It's the little. I be trying to deliver quality. I want to make sure my stuff is top notch. Yeah. I'm giving you an experience.
Top notch, but homemade. But you don't know that
I do it with care.
Care and love is what they say. Like how the old, like,
a little bit of sweat, might be a couple tears, but when you get it, you gonna love it. That's all that matters. Like, that's just what it is.
Yeah, and I'm like, I mean, time limits. Like, yes, I feel like it's a hit or miss. Yes, you shouldn't lag too far behind on certain things to where you're not with your peers. But you should put your pressure on yourself to have to be at the top of your peers are at the same level with your peers.
Mm-hmm.
You can just, there's nothing wrong with just like staying in your lane.
Coasting, yeah.
And it's like, just like getting to it at your own speed. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like you don't want to move too fast to where like, yeah, you miss certain things and then it doesn't take you to the next level that you really want to be.
Mm-hmm. And so that's for anything.
Yeah,
because
so
a lot of people do it with marriage. They feel like they should be married in a relationship at a certain time.
Even with business.
Kids. Yeah, businesses.
We see a lot of different businesses that have started when we started, and like they expanded too soon, or they took on certain stuff. Hell, we even had an opportunity that if we would have took on that at too soon, we could have went down when it comes to Mr. Hunt Bubbles. But it was like different things happened
to where
baby, it showed us to where we shouldn't do that. We didn't do that deal, and like that didn't go through. Mm-hmm. So it was a good thing that we decided to like trust our instincts and don't do some like quickly jump into a deal and it wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, some of the time
too fast you just trying to get to a time limit because sometimes you'll move too fast trying to hit that goal, and you mess yourself up. Don't be rushing trying to get to meet no time limit. Like take your time. That way, when you do reach the limit, at least you know it's legit, like it's yours, like it was meant for you. But when you rush it, you gonna mess yourself up.
Cause wait, what's that artist that made that song? Take your time, young man. And mama used to say,
mama used to say,
yeah, fam. Like, I mean, boys was dropping jewels on that song.
Yeah.
Like,
no, he was. Now you think about it.
On that song, we didn't know, but it's like they didn't give us a lot of jewels, but
that
the music that they told us that they had us
back and listen to some of that now and be
like put us on a bunch of game. Mm-hmm. Because like we the only generation I think can sit there and like listen to blues and listen to like that old school music and like still have a good time.
You jamming hard.
Like we won't sit there and listen to like some Funky Beverly and Maze or some
Slick
Cameo Rick. Or just Slick Rick, or we won't listen to Too Short or Too Live Crew. We can listen to anything.
But bro, y'all listen to that in headphones. That is not appropriate for these kids.
Don't be in the car.
Don't be in the car listening to don't do that. My kids hear all the ad-libs, baby. I can't play that type of music. They hear everything in the background.
Play the old school music too, because they be nasty too.
I moved over to like R&B Christian music now. That's all he feel me. Listen to old school R&B. You got some gospel on. Get the Lord in your life. Like I got the you know.
Put on a screw tape. Put on some Currency or some Larry June. I mean, sure, Larry June and Primo Rice is like pimp music, but I mean, shit. Rather you listen to that than listening to these idiots sitting out here talking about all the drugs that they doing. I can tell you that for a fact. Unless it's like Future, because we know he capping about the drugs, so it's all right. Like, but it's not okay. But it is like but kids don't know, so it's like nah, fam.
Yeah,
like it's touchy.
So, any final words on time limits?
Yes. Don't pressure yourself. Like take your time. Like let it come to you. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. If you're not at the position that you want to be in your life, it's okay.
Yeah.
Just try to make steps one day at a time to get to where you want to be. Whether it's that like taking a walk every once in a while. Mm-hmm. Start off with doing it once a week.
Yeah.
And then try to do it twice a week. Mm-hmm. Whether it's if you're trying to become a manager at your job, like figure out like how the main shift stuff go and figure out how everything runs when it comes to the system, and then try to apply that to other stuff to try to bring value to the company and to yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's like, don't like rush everything, like fully, like really like think it out and thoroughly do your research that you need to do. Mm-hmm. That if you don't take nothing away from me, is you're going to take that I believe in doing research. You got to do your research.
Thanks.
Like you got to do your research. And the message about that is that they always try to hide stuff in a book. You feel me? So it's like you got to do your research. Like, do your research. So you have any closing topics about?
I don't know if I can put something together after you. I don't know. Let me see if I can get in my motivational bag. Nah, but for real, like coming from a person who do believe in setting some type of limits and goals for yourself, and having to have a little bit of a letdown from not reaching certain goals, don't let the goals you have not reached stop you from going after your purpose. Don't let that get you stuck in a place to where you don't reach any goals. Because I guarantee you, if you are doing the right thing and just living your life, you are where you want it to be 5-10 years ago. Live in that moment and be okay for the goals you have. Pay more attention to the goals you have reached and not necessarily give so much life to the ones that have not happened yet. Because just because you haven't reached them does not mean they're not going to happen. It just means that it's not your time. Wait your turn. When God and hope and pray that your time aligns with God's. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. And like, let go. Be okay. Still motivate yourself. Because for me, it's a motivation for me to hit. That's why I do my vision boards. Make sure I do have my goals that I have set for myself, but I'm not so much more on the time anymore. Yeah. It's just like, I'm going to leave this here until I make it, like, and I hit these goals, and I work towards that.
But your vision board is like a time. No. To me, I look at your vision board like a time.
Well, it's not for you.
I know, but that's why my vision board is different than your vision board.
It's a timepiece. Because like now it's within because sometimes it just depends.
You fired me up about mine when I said that mine is not about just
because you can't have it sitting there for 10 years.
But I didn't say it was 10 years. You're assuming you making an ass out yourself.
Mark, don't come for me.
Okay? Like, you come for me all the time, like, bro. Like she be firing my ass up. She gonna sit there like, I'll let you finish.
Because when was the last time you picked up the guitar?
When I moved into the bedroom.
Why don't do not start?
Nah, you right. Like, yeah, I ain't y'all touch my guitar and try to play it.
Doing that. Y'all be making vision boards and don't be working.
I'm finna be honest.
Work towards.
Can I be honest? Playing the guitar is hard. Like, I'm finna be honest with you. It's hard. The way I got to hold my fingers is like very complicated. And it's like I didn't train my fingers to like hold it to where I can do my turntables. Because that was hard too at the beginning because it was literally like holding my fingers a certain way. So it was like now I gotta like try to learn how to hold my fingers for like guitar. And it's like that's hard. So it's like that's the reason why I haven't really just like got the confidence to pick it back up and get started on it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying. Just more
true, but I don't have a time limit up on it. She got a time limit up on it.
Because you need to have, because we just said that certain time limits are healthy. Just don't be out here talk about it, be about it.
But Jimi Hendrix didn't learn how to play the guitar in a week.
But I'm pretty sure he practiced.
BB King didn't learn how to play the guitar in a week.
But I'm pretty sure they practiced.
Yes, but they also have a head start on me because they were doing it as a little kid.
Mark, please listen.
Like I got a long way to go. High standards, but I got a long way to go. Like I learned how to play a couple of keys, and I started learning how to play like certain rock and roll songs. Like, cause I realized that, like, well, not that I realized, but YouTube showed me that like a bunch of the songs was like the same key. So it's like, oh, okay. So I'm like, all right. So I'm in this mug trying to do shit. I even tried to do like the Batman one time. So I was in this mug. I'm like, oh, I did the Batman song. But like, that was like last year. I ain't picked that bad boy up since.
More of the story.
Don't set time limits because you never know.
Set healthy ones that you know you don't really try to reach. But don't put a times. Just make it a goal. If you have to put a time limit, at least give it a couple years. Be realistic about how it's gonna take you to get there. Like, don't be talking about 6 months from now. Like, bro, like you're not making it to the NBA in 6 months. Stop. Just be realistic.
But when I said that last week about like getting a tennis racket and start playing tennis again, I said I'd probably be better than what I was today. This time next year, you fired me up and like, shit, I'd be hitting the ball over the net off the bustle. And it's like, bro, like you madly disrespected every single tennis player out there. Like that tennis is just that easy. And it was like, bro, like I can't believe that. I'm like, well, does she did it because she's disrespectful? But it's like, bro, like you really just gotta disrespect my sport like that. Cause I am gonna. That's a fact. I am gonna like get back into tennis. Like, yeah, I don't know. I already started looking at tennis rackets, so it's like it's eventually it's coming. Cause that's the first step is actually like getting a tennis racket. Mm-hmm. It's always a tennis court by the house. Every single neighborhood we stay in. I mean, it's not like country club quality, but it'll work for right now. Like, wow. I'm just being honest. I don't want to be out here playing on the damn concrete. Like, I'm too old to be out here playing on concrete. That's why a bunch of our backs and shit and our legs hurt because we played on concrete when we was little. All them days of hooping on concrete, that shit wasn't good for us.
But with that, we're doing the rant or we already ranted?
Oh, we can still rant.
What we ranting about,
do you ever rant?
I had one and I forgot it.
So you ain't really a ranter?
No, I had one early. I rant during the day. So it's like by the time I get here, if it's not on my mind, I'm not thinking about it. And like people, usually I'm ranting about something stupid somebody did, and don't nobody live in my brain that long. So I forget you real quick. Like, so, but don't be coming for me online. I can't tell you that, like, I'm not that girl. No, please. I'm just trying to do the Lord's work. That's it. I don't care. Don't do it. I'll find your IP address. I'm just not the one to be playing with out
Bro, not this week. Don't do that this week, bro. Like that's 2 weeks in a row. Like you just be wildin', like wild card. You never know. So like, all right, I guess I get into my rant. Because I do got a rant. Like me, I rant my whole entire life. I'm a ranter. You feel me? Hunt ranter. Yeah, I rant because I'm like, I'm fucking tired of these video games, bro. I'm tired of Madden looking the same and not being any better. Like, I want to have a good my career. Like, I want to live out my fantasy of being a football player, and I want to actually have a good storyline without having to spend money to make my player good. I want to be able to hoop in the basketball and be able to like hoop for good and like not having to spend my money to hoop. I just want to be able to play the game and not have to worry about playing with these people that cheat online because I don't really like care to play online because that's triggering for me. Like online gameplay is very triggering on me. Like I know for a fact like that's triggering. So that's why I choose not to play online gaming. I realize that and I don't do a lot of online gaming.
I have noticed you select the online game.
Like, yeah, because it's triggering, because people be cheating. Like, because, like, I played the game. I've been playing the game for so long that, like, I'm actually pretty good in a lot of games to where, like, I'm playing other good people, but we also get tossed into lobbies with the cheaters. So you got to fight the cheaters. And it's like, bro, you can't win against a cheater. Like, they're cheaters. Like, that's the purpose. As soon as you start winning, they start cheating. And it's like, that shit is aggravating. So it's like, nah. If I'm going to live a peaceful life, I got to quit online gaming so much. Because, like, them little kids be stressful. Because I know it's a little kid on the other line that's, like, stressing me out. Because I know the difference between if I'm playing the sports against, like, an adult or I'm playing a kid. If I'm playing an adult, 9 times out of 10, this guy's playing square up. This man has a 9 to 5. He on this mug trying to have fun just like me. So he playing real basketball or he playing real football. If it's a kid, he over here cheesing. Don't nobody want to play no cheeser, bro. It's like, because kids are sweats. That little try hards. But, oh, that was my little rant.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, nah, life be crazy, man. Like being a gamer, life be crazy. Like, the gaming lifestyle is crazy.
Mark.
It is.
I understand.
Okay, but so I'm Mark.
I'm Kiki.
It's the Hunt Life Podcast.
We are out, y'all. Hunt Life.
Live dreams.
Bye.